What is up, everybody? How's it going? This is your weekly podcast. This is how we kick the week off every week. I am your host with the locks that rocks, your favorite sideboard to die for, Adam Richmond, and this is Surviving Rocklahoma. And I am so glad to see you all again. I'm so thankful to have you all as my fans. Before we get into the show, do me a favor. Let me know you guys can hear me okay. Let me know how the audio is coming out. We had a couple of glitches on the last live stream, so I want to make sure we got all of those ironed out because I got some really cool things to show you and to talk about throughout the night. Let me tell you guys, we've got a lot of stuff going on in the next couple of months. Let me see what all we've got going on here. You know, we're going to be talking about a little bit about that Cancer Sucks show that we had going on here a couple of weeks ago at the Canes Ballroom. We're also going to talk about a local show that I caught this past weekend at a new bar that has opened here in town, and I anticipate, man, this is going to be an amazing venue, especially if I have any way of getting my favorite bands to come through my neck of the woods. Also, we've got, we got some news that broke last week. All of you know exactly what I'm referring to, and we're going to get into that here a little bit later on in the show. We're also going to talk about some upcoming shows this month, as well as in February. There's a couple of special shows that we are going to be a part of that I want to talk about. We're also going to feature some awesome tracks for some local artists that has been active in the area, and we're going to fire up the ROK Box as well. Yes, and yes, thank you for the nice threads. I want to thank my good friends Justin and David, aka George Washington and Flamingo. We are going to be making Rocklahoma great again in 2025, and I thought this was such a perfect shirt to wear given the news that dropped this past week. But before we get into all of that, guys, one thing at a time. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a little parched. So before we crack open a cold one, I think it's time for us to go ahead and take care of our sponsors, all right? So first up, we're going to talk about At Your Service Rentals. I want to rock! And Rocky has been doing. Rocky did, he was a big part of the DEB Concerts Cancer Sucks benefit show, as was the Rocklahoma Bitches. And you know what, guys? Well, I'll show y'all the clips here in a little bit, but man, it was an amazing time. And we want to thank Doug for everything he does for the local music scene. I also would like to remind everybody that he is one of the forces behind the DEB concert stage inside the Roadhouse at Rocklahoma, and it's going to be an amazing year this coming year. I can't wait to see what happens. Speaking of Rocklahoma partners, I also want to give a shout out to At Your Service Rentals, the only place where I know of that you can get your own portable restroom for your campsite. You can get a swimming pool too at Rocklahoma and Born and Raised music festivals. And if you need some services outside of the concert or outside of a music festival, maybe you got a project or you're a large event and you need some extra facilities, well, call these guys At Your Service Rentals because they've got what you need. Don't be like that guy over there stuck in the big long line looking for a place to poo. Hey, buddy, what are you doing over there?
Shitter was full!
Yeah, I didn't call At Your Service Rentals. Also, I want to give a shout out to some of my best friends to have, ROKAVET. They have a mission, and it's the mission to get our veterans the music that is medicine, the medicine that is music. And, you know, we all know how therapeutic live music events can be, the family that you find in the crowds, and just the community that tends to come together and put these things together. And we love to give back to the vets who put it all on the line for us. And speaking of, I've been told that there is a contest going on, and I didn't get the goofy sound effect that I wanted, but guys, there is we've got a hint, and the winner has a prize. Now I'll let you, what do you guys think? Let me ask the ROKAVETs in there. I see that a couple of them are having some issues commenting. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it was a little weird for me to go live tonight too. It was a little glitchy, so hopefully we have a stable broadcast. Heath, I see you and Christian in there. I think I saw Jason earlier. What do y'all think? Should I give the hint now or at the end of the show? I'll let you guys be the judge. You let me know when we want to give that hint, and we will give them an opportunity to win a ROKAVET challenge coin. These things are absolutely beautiful. With also now winner with the most points at the end of 20 days. All right, so there's a little hint, and you know what, we had, they said the first couple were a little easy for you guys, and you guys got them right off the bat. And he's like, you know what, we found one. Now he wanted me to give a shout out to this one because it's a little bit of a throwback from my DJ days. Let me see, I wrote this down. All right, so ROKAVET has a mystery song. You're going to just get a little tidbit of the lyric, and you have to guess the song, and you're going to get points, and at the end of the month, the points will get you a challenge coin, people with the most points. So the prize, once again, is a ROKAVET challenge coin, and so here's the line. Angela, Pamela, and Rita are all ROKAVET's mine. Once again, Angela, Pamela, and Rita are all on ROKAVET's mind. So that's your hint. It's obscure, but if you're an OG like me, you know what it is. I didn't even need a hint, by the way. That's all I had, and I knew it right off the bat. Jason's my witness, so that could be just because I've got a show. Hey, speaking of the Rock family, what is up, Emil? Emil, how's it going? One of our favorite songbirds from the Northeast. Shout out to Eternal Frequency. Emil is in the comments. You know, she's one of our Rocklahoma family, and speaking of, we want to give a shout out to our Rocklahoma sisters, the Rocklahoma bitches, who are proud to support the local music scene. They were also one of the sponsors behind it, Cancer Sucks, and they're always out and about. We love you girls so much. Huge shout out to Christy and Kendra. And thank you, by the way, for having us along that weekend. It was a blast. We also want to give a shout out to our proud partner and sponsor, Photography by Angel Lee, who has been taking photos for us the last couple of years at Rocklahoma and our other music festivals that we've covered in the area. She was out there as well at the Cancer Sucks in a more unofficial capacity, as she was alongside us as we were enjoying the show. But even though she couldn't bring a big giant lens to work media for the event, she still left her mark. So if you were one of the folks that had got printed on by the lips of a rebel, Be sure you throw those in the comments because that was so much fun. And by the end, and that was not the plan, by the way. We're there, and she accidentally gave one of her friends a kiss on the cheek and left a lip mark. And then next thing I know, everybody else wanted those signature rebel lips on their face, and we'll say various other parts. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And if you got a selfie with myself or with Angel or the rest of the crew, be sure to drop them in the comments. We want to see them. You can also shoot them to our email address, survivingrocklahoma@gmail.com. Yeah, man, moving on, we also want to give a lot of love to the folks that bring a busload of debauchery to not only Rocklahoma, but a couple of other music events as well. We're talking about the big old bus, and man, they've always got all the party is always going on at the bus, guys. They got a little bit of everything, and they've got fun and events, and it's just amazing. I love these guys. Now, if you have a big event, you've got a big something going on, and you got campgrounds and you need something going on in the campgrounds, holler at these guys. I'm sure they could work something out with you guys. Once again, that's the big old bus. Also, we want to give some thanks to the guys who makes us some fine threads, the folks at Metalcore Clothing, a veteran-owned business right here in Oklahoma. Huge shout-out to Jeremy Knight of Perseus, as well as a former Miss Rocklahoma herself, Lacey. They make Metalcore Clothing, and they provided us with a couple of amazing shirts that you are still on sale now for like $25. So limited sizes are available. I'm working on a new design for next year, and so when I make the new design, these other editions may be limited. So don't sleep on them, guys. If you'd like a shirt, get them from us, survivingrocklahoma@gmail.com. Let me tell you, Metalcore Clothing, they have some fine threads, guys. They're nice, they're comfortable, and they can even set you up some stores to make things easier for you. Half of the campsites at Rocklahoma use them. So perfect for you, your campsite, your band, whatever you're working with. Now, with that being said, folks, with our final sponsor, we'd like to simultaneously crack open a cold one while we crack open a show. And we've been sampling different drinks courtesy of Prior Liquor, Wines, and Spirit, and I think I may have a new favorite one. So I don't know about y'all, but I am totally hooked on Strawberry Monsters. They're like terrible for you, I know. But it's my vice, guys. I had one of these once before, and to me, they taste very similar. Now, this is Jose Cuervo cocktails, and this is the strawberry margarita. Thank you so much. This is what I'm going to be cracking open for you guys. You can get this same beverage as well as any other beverage that you can be thinking of at Prior Liquors, Wines, and Spirits. So I tell you what, guys, grab your refreshments and let's crack one open. Oh my gosh, it is better than I remember. Woo, man, that is my new these are dangerous. These are so dangerous. Yeah, man, it's delicious, and it's just like those Strawberry Monsters, in my opinion. 8% volume, 8% alcohol per volume, and it's tequila, and agave kind of affects me a certain way. So we'll see how this show goes, y'all. Cheers, everybody. So I see a lot of folks in the comments, so let me get caught up as I was ranting away, being the goofball that I am. I see the ROKAVETs are in there, and I already saw somebody got it right off the bat. David, you are absolutely right, buddy. That would be correct. Hello once again, ML. We're glad to see you in the comments. I see my bestie, my co-hostess with the mostest of Camp Mardi Gras, Christy Gross, is in the comments. What's up, Jack Fain? What up, buddy? Alejandro Farinas is in there. Perseus will be back March 1st at the Blue Note. Okay, I'm excited about that. Tastes like Rocklahoma. Yeah, it does. I'm not going to lie. I had 2 sips, and I can already feel my liver shiver on that one. These are so dangerous. This could be an interesting show. All right, so real quick, y'all, let's go ahead and get into our past weekend. So we had an amazing show. Now, one thing, when I tried to do these videos last week and I featured the live music while I was talking about these people, Facebook flagged the crap out of me. So we almost went off the air last week because copyright algorithms did not like me streaming music. So I got some more loopholes on there, so I apologize because while I do these highlight videos, they're not going to be the actual music. We just had to kind of throw something in the background so it doesn't flag us again. But once again, we had the Cancer Sucks show this a couple of weeks ago, and of course it was Stephen Piercy of the Rat. And oh my gosh, man, these guys have still got it. And the Canes Ballroom is always a great venue, especially for this type of event, because there's plenty of rooms for all of the merch and the silent auction. They have the side area where you can go outside, get some fresh air. That's the view that they had from the ADA section, which I want to give so many props to having that section aside for the disabled folks so that they can still get up close and they don't have to fight when they have mobility issues or other issues that can make them have to experience a show different. Look at this energy, man. They've still got it. So this is Stephen Piercy once again, but there was also another band that you might have heard of that they came and they brought the noise. The show was also joined and headlined by Rat. Look at this guy though, got himself a signed drum head by all of the bands. Huge shout out to Heath Wadsworth. And speaking of, I also want to give a huge shout out, and I'm so jealous of Miss Rebel, who got her hands on a couple of autographed photos of Hailstorm and Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson. So jealous of it. They had some great stuff that they were getting signed for a great cause. You're looking right now at Quiet Riot, man. That was such a great show. And the folks out there, they just put on an amazing event. Man, they raised a lot of money out there too. Huge shout out to Rick Horton. So yeah, that was the Cancer Sucks benefit, and thank you to Rick Horton for having us out, as well as to the Rocklahoma Bitches and DEB Concerts for being a part of that and getting that show put on. I lost a family member a couple of years ago, and then I had another family member that has had a couple of bouts with cancer. So it's always a huge, it's always near and dear to my heart to go to that event and just see so many people actually giving back and helping and being active in order to honor their friends and families that have had that struggle. So I absolutely love Cancer Sucks and everything they do for the community, as well as for those who have been impacted by by cancer. Now, the following week, there's a new bar that opened here in Tahlequah. It's called the Squeeze Inn. And normally I don't get all that excited when there's a new bar opening in town. I don't go out much here in Tahlequah. But, you know, there for a while, Tahlequah had an amazing live music scene. And it was really starting to grow and get established. And then the venues, they just packed up and, you know, things happened. So they shut down, and the local live music scene here in town just kind of fluttered away. It's still there, but it's just not like Tulsa. Well, there's a new bar in town called the Squeeze Inn. They've got a great stage on there. They've also it's a bright, you know, it's not all totally dim lit. You can actually have conversations out there. There's a couple pool tables, and the guy who did it has done a couple of other establishments as well. So he really knows what he's doing. And I was so glad to see them hosting a couple of guys that we've linked up here on the show before. I'm talking about Thru It All. And so this was one of their first forays into putting on a show here in town. And I tell you what, why don't you take a look at it? So once again, this was the Squeeze Inn here in Tahlequah, and a nice, quaint little stage on the corner, but, you know, it's still big enough that guys can rock out. And let me tell you something about Nick, man. This guy's got energy, and he is all over a stage when he plays. And so if you've got enough stage for him to get around and do his thing, I'm telling you, it's a good place. And I've been talking with the people who have put it on, and we are very excited to say that they're going to be hosting more events here in town. And hopefully we can do some cross collaboration in the future. But, there's my boys, Nick and Daniel Dew, and guys, it was just a great show. But with that being said, guys, I tell you what, I will let you all know when the next event is going on here in town, and I want you guys to come up and show out here at the Squeeze Inn the next time that they have a live music. Now, for you country folk, I've already met up with my boy Lance Roark while I was down there for this show, and after playing Born and Raised back in September, he's going to be playing here at the Squeeze Inn here in January. So we're going to be a part of that show as well, but we're going to talk about getting some rock bands down here as well, give y'all something to jam out and headbang too. But once again, thank you so much to Nick for having me out, and all the fine folks at the Squeeze Inn. With that being said, you know what? I tell you what, guys, let's play some music. And you saw a little bit from them just there. Let's give you a taste of Thru It All. Now, this is one of my favorite videos. I released it earlier in the year, but it was shot in this park that is just a little ways down from my house. I spent a lot of time there, so seeing these guys jam out was very nostalgic for me. Guys, here it is, Thru It All with Tangled.
Perfect, I get my all you can see it through. I'm the giant, getting close and
And once again, that was Thru It All with Tangled. And shout out to the guys. Always a pleasure to work with them. And it's always so fun to watch them work a room. A lot of fun. What do you guys think? I see you all in the comments. I tell you what, studio audience, give them some love. Yeah. Let's see those reactions in the live stream. You know what? Speaking of the live stream, I want to give a shout out to all of you that's been sending those stars. I see them popping up in my alerts. You guys are absolutely awesome. Now remember, the Stars Wars is in full effect, and what the Stars Wars is, we take the top winner or the top sender of every stream and we enter them for a prize, and that prize we'll announce on the show. So now what those stars are, they're little bits, little pieces of currency that allow us to monetize the show. That's how we monetize it, rather. It's like a little tip jar. So whenever y'all throw that in there, there are a couple of pennies, and that's how we pay our hosting fees and all that other stuff, alongside with the contributions from our generous sponsors. Now, once again, oh, thank you, Tawny. See some more. David, how y'all doing? Thank you all so much for those once again. Now, with that being said, y'all, where were we? So we already talked about the Cancer Sucks and Thru It All show. How was y'all's Thanksgiving, by the way? You know, I was actually, it's always a bittersweet going into the holidays as I get a little bit older. But, as everybody, there's always that anxiety. But I actually had a really good Thanksgiving, and I was so glad to see my family. How was y'all's? You know what? I tell you what, folks, speaking of family, something awesome is happening. Rocklahoma has announced that they are staying local. Let's give it up again. I'm so excited about this, guys. And, it's not that I didn't feel any sort of way against the other folks, that have come and gone as part of the Rocklahoma family. But it's just, we love the way the festival is, and it's just, Sharon and Dave, they have built something over the last couple of years, and to see new people come in, any of us can be anxious and stuff like that, but it was pretty apparent. I don't have anything official that I can give or say on the matter, but it's just, to me, it feels better that they're doing it all in-house through Pryor Creek Music Festival. To me, as an outsider looking in, I only know a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes, but what I do see is I feel this is going to be a lot less restrictive for them. They have more ability to do things however they want, and they can also keep us in mind rather than having to be a part of a bigger, larger entity that takes a little bit more gas in the tank, if you know what I'm referring to. So it is just going to be amazing. I'm so excited to see Rocklahoma and Born and Raised stay right here at home, not only with Sharon and Dave, but the original founders as well. And man, I'm just so happy about this, and I'm so excited to see what they are going to do with it. Now, What do you think, guys? Now that we know it's going to be more in-house, and that's a blessing and a curse. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome because they don't have to be part of as big of a corporate structure and things like that, where they have so many things that work together. However, things are more out of their own pocket. So would you guys rather see bigger bands or more bands? Because really, I don't know if you can really see 72 big, huge headliners, or you can see a couple, legendary folks and have a smaller lineup, but have more going on with the rest of the festival. We know how we feel about the campgrounds and how we'd like to be able to party and do our own things, and we're happy to work within restrictions, but it's almost like going in fresh. You know what I'm saying? Going into the comments, make Rocklahoma great again. Love it. Hope they get us a new headliner yearly, though. Yeah, I can feel that. And repeats are, part of the game. I've had my own opinions a few times about seeing some of the headliners for multiple years, but at the same time, when I get there and I don't miss the headliner. Let me see what else we've got coming up. But yeah, that's the big news, guys. I don't know what that means as far as I don't think that's going to mean too much for pricing and the way that all of that stuff goes, but it's just going to be really interesting. Now, remember though, before it was bought out, or before DWP came in and expressed the intention to buy, last year's, past year's Rocklahoma, that was already laid out. Like, they had already booked the bands. They had already done everything by the time, the new investors came along. And fortunately, they wanted to see how everything ran before they made too many changes or any of that other stuff. Rock needs a mayor. Crystal Rock has a mayor. Never forget that the original unofficial mayor of Rocklahoma is Miss Senior Lynn Hernandez. A huge shout out to Lynn of Tulsa Rocks. Him and Jill have been doing a great, a lot of great work over at Tulsa Rocks. But he will always be the unofficial mayor in my heart. I think Rock is respectful to us for the, you know what, I agree. We get away with a lot compared to other festivals. And I think that couldn't, my outside speculation, that could have been maybe part of it. I don't know. But I mean, we get away with a lot compared to a lot of other festivals. Thank you, Joey. You know what? I'm not out to take anyone's job, but you know what? I am happy to be an understudy. If y'all ever need a substitute MC, call me. I don't know why it's not letting you tag and heart relax. Sorry about that, Christy. That's really weird. Like I said, it was a little tricky for me to get the live stream rolling today as well. All right, y'all. We've been hanging out a couple of minutes, reveling in the news that Rocklahoma is going to remain solely owned by Pryor Creek Music Festivals. The press release went out earlier last week. You guys can see it. I would rather you guys get your information from that press release that we shared, as well as from their website. All I can do is paraphrase and think of what that means as the way I personally experience the festival. But remember, guys, always get your facts from the source, and then we can talk about it through the podcast or whatnot, or next time you see me at a local event. You know what? Speaking of, there was, back in the day, there was an awesome camp, and, Camp Mardi Gras, we celebrated our 10 years as a campsite this year. And next to Camp Corruption and a couple of other camps, we are one of the longest running camps in the campgrounds. And I only bring all of this up because you see a lot of cool things come through the campgrounds. It grows, and some things stay for a while. Some things, they don't last forever. But we knew a couple of folks that started out, with a beer pong tournament. Next thing you know, they've got a stage. A couple years later, they got a big stage until it was like a massive full-on production out in the campgrounds. I'm talking about Camp Dark Side. Now, while they were having this great show in the campgrounds, I met a really cool guy by the name that has this great band called Ryder. Now, me and Zach, we talk a lot on Facebook, and we featured him on the show several times, but he's got a new track that is like doing really well, and he's already got several thousand downloads since it's been released. I think it's tens of thousands now. So I'm so excited to share a band that's been around for a while and representative of a blast from the past. And shout out to the Dark Side fam. You might have heard of this guy. This is Ryder with his new track, Southbound.
I'm going southbound. The weight of the world is on my shoulders.
And once again, that was Southbound by Ryder. Huge shout out to James Ryder and the gang. It is always so good to hear from our friends in New York. And they spent some time in Nashville recently as well. We'll have to catch up with them. What did you all think? Studio audience. That's right. I see some of you are having a couple of issues with getting your commenting or heart reacting. Well, I tell you what, if you can't, have a drink. It works, right? And this is how we have a good time, right? Woo! I love that agave. Anyway, Gale, I love the agave. So, we've got a couple of shows coming up, including, let me see what we got. I got my notes. I was smart this time. So, before we get into the live music, there's this really cool event. I was going to pull up the flyer for it, but I'm just excited. I was looking up for events to talk about tonight, and I saw the Tulsa Horror Convention. Pardon my heck accent. It's yeah. Anyway, I can't help it. So there is a really cool horror convention going on at the Cox Business Center, and there's going to be, let me see who all's going to be there. The original Jason is going to be there, as well as one of the guys who played the older Jason. So that's going to be really cool to see. There's going to be one of the Scream Queens is going to be Felissa. Oh, what movie? That makes me so mad I lost it. I just had it right there. But shout out to the Cox Business Center for putting on the Tulsa Horror Convention. I really do. I want to go see that one. So don't let me Richard. Sorry, David. You done sent me the shirt, so you can't cancel that. Where's yeah, we're not gonna go there.
Giggity.
So after that, Badass Renee is going to be having a really cool metal show. It is going to be the 55 years of, dang, all of my stuff. You know what? There it is. Michael Freemans' 55 Years of Dopeness, featuring Stanley's Revenge, I Forget, Copper. I can't see that one. And, our good friends in Still Knocked. That's going to be going on December 21st. Get out and visit Badass Renee's. I love this bar, and they are also, it is just a gold mine. It's for underground music scene, man. There's just so many great bands that come through there, not just metal bands, rock bands, hip hop band groups. Man, there's just always something going on down at Badass Renee's. Huge shout out to her. I think I'm going to try to make it out to this one, actually. Stanley's Revenge, I Forget, Still Knocked, $10 to get in. Great show, y'all. Now, also, we've got another one coming up. Now, this one is going to be going on February 7th, featuring Blacktop Mojo with special guest Braden Stewart. Also going to be playing is Rocklahoma DEB Stage alums Dime Store Riot, as will Crimson Love. That's going to be going on February 7th at the Shrine. And guys, this is a TLP production. A lot of love to TLP Productions out of OKC and everyone involved with that organization. Got a lot of friends over there and working with them. Also, now this is also going to be a fun one, y'all. Coming up February 15th, I've been asked to host this show. St. Anger Productions presents Gravehuffer, Paralytic, Neanderthal Jones, a Faustian Bargain, and many more. Now, this is going to be an all-ages show, so if you got the little metal heads, feel free to bring them out to the Bowman in Tulsa. That's at 2909 South Sheridan Road, $25 for your passes. Hopefully, and that is, of course, unless you took advantage of that Cyber Monday sale. Thank you so much to St. Anger Productions for reaching out and inviting us to be a part of this show. We congratulate you, as this is one of the first I've seen from St. Anger Productions, and we are going to be a part of it. And I've also reached out to the folks at the Bowman, and he is a bit of a podcaster himself, so you never know what we might be bringing you in the future, because he's got a lot of broadcast toys, and I've got a lot of broadcast toys, and that means we are gonna do some really cool stuff with broadcasting. So you know what, to tide you over till then, ladies and gentlemen, here's Stanley's Revenge. Want to give a huge thank you to Stanley's Revenge for rocking the box. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up once again for Stanley's Revenge. That's right. You know what? Before we ramp things up, remember, ROKAVET has that contest going, and this will be your last clue for the evening. But you know how it goes. Oh, crap. Okay, yeah. Once again, the hint was Angela, Sandra, Pamela, and Rita are on ROKAVET's mind. Come on, you know. If you listen to the music of the past, you know that song already. Those names in that order. If you don't, you need to learn how to mambo. Damn it, I forgot again. It's okay, Lord. But yeah, name that track once again. Head on over to ROKAVET. They've got some more contests going. They are taking qualification, or they are making qualifiers. That's the word I was looking for. They are making qualifiers to win a challenge coin. These things are absolutely beautiful. Now, so once again, folks, as we wrap things up, I want to just say thank you. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast, joining us here in the comments. For those stars, all of you who were fighting in the Stars Wars, it was a fearsome battle, but I do see several folks they made some donations. Thank you all so much. We will tally those and get a leaderboard. That's one thing we're going to start doing in the future going forward. Yes, Tony's got it right. Once again, folks, thank you for checking us out here on the stream. Remember, folks, if you would like your music featured here on the show, it's simple. All you got to do is send me an email, survivingrocklahoma@gmail.com. Send me a high-quality recording, and you know what? If you got an EPK, that is absolutely great. Tell me a little bit about yourself so we can let everybody know a little bit about your band and who you are, where you come from, because you never know who's watching the show or where your next ravenous fans are going to come from. And you know what? If you would like those ravenous fans to show up next time you play, you know what? Include your gig as well. You can just send the whole thing over to survivingrocklahoma@gmail.com. We'd love to play your music here on the show. Also, folks, it doesn't matter how you're tuning in. Hit that like, follow, and subscribe button. Those numbers do matter. And the more likes and subscribes we get, the more cool things we can do. And special shout out to all of you who have subscribed through the Facebook page, $4.99 back, cancel any time. And all subscribers are already qualified for our monthly giveaway. See where we're at. But you know what? I think that does it for me. That's all of my notes, and we've had a relatively smooth show. So, you know what? Let's give a cheers to that. Before we go, let's go back into the comments real quick and see what we've got going on. Beware, I'll be back. Always glad to see you when you get back, Scott. What is up, Joey? The venue name for the Gravehuffer show was the Bowman Twin. I hadn't been to this one before, so I was very excited whenever I linked up with David earlier today. He's one of the folks that's going to be doing the technical side of things, and he is a fellow enthusiast for this kind of stuff, so I can't wait to see what we brainstorm and what we can come up with. Thank you, David. I love this shirt. And folks, if you would like your swag represented here on the podcast, shoot me an email and I will happily wear it on the show. I'm sorry, I'm not going to give my address out on the air, but you shoot me an email and I'll let you know my size. But this is my Washington Flamingo 25, making Rocklahoma great again. And of course, these guys are some of the fine folks that you can find in the Rocklahoma campgrounds. And the Flamingo, you may remember him from the Rocklahoma scavenger hunt, which I believe is going to be back. And this year, oh my gosh, I've already got some great ideas, and we are going to expand this year on the campgrounds map. We're going to develop the best campsite contest, and we've got something really cool that we're going to be working on this coming year for Rocklahoma 2025. Your Rocklahoma survival guide will only be available through this podcast. With that being said, y'all, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. But, you know, as I say each and every week, folks, stay on the positive side of life. And until next time, rock on.